Hey guys, welcome to Wicked Manny. Today I'm going to show you how I did these Harry Potter inspired nails. I just finished reading Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban with my 5-year-old, and we read the illustrated version, and in one of the chapters, the Dementors Kiss, the illustrations for that page were absolutely gorgeous, and those illustrations are what inspired this Manny. As usual, the links to all the products that I used for this Manny will be below. I'm going to use a combination of stamping, and I'm also going to do some hand painting in this Manny. If you're really intimidated by hand painting, all we're really doing is mountains, so it's really not that difficult. So if you're looking to get your start with hand painting for the first time, this would be a really good Manny for you to start with. So let's get started. Now I've already got liquid latex on my nails here. So I'm going to go ahead and get out my makeup wedge, and I'm going to put some polishes on my makeup wedge in a bit of a circular pattern so I can do a radial gradient on my nails. And all I'm doing for this is a light blue, the blue that I have for the base of my nail, and then a black. Now it is going to take a few times for me to pat this on the way that I want because the light blue that I'm using, or maybe it's a light purple, it's really sheer. So it takes a little bit for that to show up. So I'm just going to do this over and over again until I get the desired opacity on my nail. Now, once you have the gradient the way that you want, do not pull off the liquid latex yet because we're going to stamp on this Manny. So just go ahead and leave the liquid latex in place until we're completely done. Now, on to the hand painting. For hand painting, there is a trick where you can use a top coat, and then you can do acrylic paint on top of the top coat. So if you mess up, you can scratch off the design that you don't like. You can see Christine from Simply Nailogical use this technique a lot. I personally do not like the acrylic technique. I prefer to just use regular nail polish, so that's what I'm doing here. But if you're not comfortable with that, definitely check out how other nail artists use the acrylic and maybe try doing that. Acrylic paint really is inexpensive. You can pick up a ton of it at Michael's for wicked cheap because they've always got coupons. So if you want to get started trying to do acrylic painting hand-painted nails, that's what I would definitely recommend. So I'm just painting some mountains here, and then I'm going over the mountains and then making what looks like some vines because that's what's on the image inside the Harry Potter book. So there's no real rhyme or reason as to how this has to look or how it should look. I'm just trying to make it look as much like the book as possible. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and turn on some music while I do the hand painting stuff. So I hope you enjoy this, and I will be back when we're doing the stamping. And we're back. So for my thumbnail, I am going to use one of my nature themed plates, and I'm going to use the tree from the side because there are a lot of trees in the illustration, and I don't like hand painting trees. I'm awful at it. So instead, I will use this stamp plate and be a dirty cheater. I'm going to put my black stamping polish on this plate, then I'm going to scrape off the excess with a very thick scraper like I like. And then I'm just going to roll the design onto my thumbnail. And that's not it. We're not just going to leave it like that. And then I'm going to go back in here with my paintbrush and I'm going to add some yellow / goldish detailing and some white to the tree bark so that it matches the rest of my mani, because that's going to be in the same colors. And I really don't think that using dual stamping here is going to bring all the colors together like I want, so I'm just going to do this part by hand. If you're more comfortable doing dual stamping, go ahead and do that. It might look better for you, but this is just what I wanted to do. Now let's add some leaves. I'm using the same nature plate that I got the tree from, and I'm just going to pick up some of these leaves from the edge here and then put them on the side of my nail next to the tree. And on to the next finger. For my pointer finger, I'm going to use this like branch and maple leaf design here. I'm just going to use my black stamping polish again. I'm going to scrape off the excess, lift up the design on my stamper, and then place that on my first nail. Next, I want to add some branches to the nails that already have our mountains on them, just to go across the top so that they don't look so plain. Again, I just really don't like hand painting vines or branches. It's really difficult to make them look perfect, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to those, so I prefer to just stamp. If you want to hand paint them, feel free. Again, I'm just going to do this same stamp on my middle finger and on my ring finger so that they look the same. And now for my pinky finger. For this one, I'm just going to do some leaves because there's really not much space on my pinky finger. It's very small. So I feel like this would probably be the best. Oh, and did you think we're done? We're not done. No, we're just getting started. Now we're going to paint some more. I'm going to clean up a little bit around my fingers. I peeled off my liquid latex, but some of the black ended up bleeding around the liquid latex like it always does. So I'm going to get that out of the way before I do any painting. There, now that that's all cleaned up, I'm going to get out my paintbrush again, and then I'm going to get some of the gold stamping polish that I've been using throughout this mani, and add some highlights to the stamp designs so that it really makes these pop a little bit more and really makes the color palette that I'm using cohesive between all of the nails. To do this, I recommend that you use a really small paintbrush, or a toothpick would work too. You might be able to get away with using a very, very small dotting tool, but if you don't already have a tiny paintbrush set, you might want to get yourself one if you plan on doing any hand painting with your nails, because it will make your life a million times easier. Now that I have the gold on there, I'm just going to add in a little bit of white to add in some highlights. And then I'm going to go onto my middle finger and add in some dots of gold. And then I will do the same thing to my ring finger. After I'm happy with those, I'm just going to do the same thing and add a few highlights to the pinky finger so that it matches the rest of the nails too. For this one, it's so small you can really just add dots. No one's ever going to notice. And that's it for this mani, guys. I hope that you liked it. If you did, please comment below and like up this video. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I'm so close to 100 subscribers and I really want to get my custom URL, so it would really help me out if you did. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.